States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A motion, please, to approve tonight's agenda. Shelley and Linda. Any discussion? All in favor of approving tonight's agenda? Motion is carried. Next, superintendent's update.
Good evening, thank you. This is going to be brief, but I wanted to share with the Board of Education and our community some pictures from the 2021 Capital Improvement Project to give you an update. And we're going to try to continue to do this steadily throughout the project so that the community sees the progress that's being made. And I'm going to share with you a couple of remarkable facts as we go through these pictures that were taken earlier this week. So I think Tuesday we had a spell of sunshine and we got out there with some pictures. And since Tuesday, things have changed yet again. So the tree in the picture on the left, the pine tree on the right is no longer there. We watched that today get dropped, and we watched the squirrel relocate quickly across the parking lot when the tree fell. But that is part of the parking lot expansion for the district office to make our spaces more accessible to the community. So in relationship to where we currently stand, I'd say that's probably another 20 yards closer to the building than it was previously. So you see the little curb cut out and everything there. That's pretty much where the parking lot stopped. And we're going to continue to scrutinize that to make sure that our handicapped accessible entrances and our mobility impaired community don't feel slighted when it comes to coming in and out of the building, because I know that was feedback that I've received from people throughout my first 3 years here, is that it's really not welcoming or inviting when you have to walk so far from the parking lot. And on the right is the foundation for the soccer dugouts. So what you're seeing is the site work that's being done, a lot of the foundation materials that are there, that they're getting ready to start pouring the footings for the dugout system, which is a modular system. So when that comes in, our student athletes are going to have what I would consider a small college experience, because these modular systems are some of the newest and greatest. And in the background of that picture, you'll see a bunch of the vehicles over there, which actually is part of the work that's being done from the concession stand. So that actually, the foundation was poured for that Tuesday as well, or actually Monday, excuse me. So he's over there floating the surface for where the primary area for the concession stand is. They haven't poured the floor for the storage area or the restrooms yet, but that's something that, again, it's been weather dependent, but we're making very good progress on the concession stand. And part of what you'll notice is the actual square footage compared to the picture in the left, where I think we're end up with a very nice outdoor facility for our community. And then there's 3 single stall bathroom units that'll be on the south end of that structure. This picture here is the south wall of the gymnasium at the high school. Heritage Masonry, they've been pulling down the brick. As you know, we've had some moisture behind the bricks, caused a lot of those bricks to fail. That was part of the roof restoration on that particular structure, which you know we completed back in November. So Heritage Masonry, they've been out taking the block down, really working to try and get that corrected before the weather changes. So they're making pretty good progress, and I give those gentlemen a lot of credit that are up there, because they have no mercy from the sun when they've been up there working. So, you know, the last 2 weeks we've had a fair amount of rain, but we've also had some high heat and humidity over that time. This is one of the pictures that I really want to point out because this was earlier in the week, and if you look at the picture on the left, you can notice how much brighter it is. And there's ceiling tiles that were actually popped in there today, so when you walk down the hallway now, it's such a clean and inviting environment. The floors have to be done, but just to speak to the amount of progress that we're making, when the students come back in the fall, it really does have a very different feel because it's no longer a long, dark hallway. So the construction crew from Mass has been doing a phenomenal job with that. In the picture on the right, you'll see the gentleman on the scaffolding. That is part of the capital project that we're doing that's using the federal funds from the American Recovery Act. So that's that separate air conditioning project. The ductwork is almost final in there. They're working on testing the system now, which is checking the lines to make sure there are no leaks. So again, we're hoping by that one, I would say probably the middle of September for that air conditioning unit to be fired up. So when you walk into the foyer of the high school, you walk into the small cafeteria, the large cafeteria, the kitchens, you're going to see a noticeable difference in air temperature. And here, these two classrooms are the building, or excuse me, on the east end of the building. They're formerly science classrooms. These will be the large group instruction spaces. That floor has not been poured yet either. It's part of the same group that's going to finish the flooring and the concession stand, but quite a difference in there considering the, formica that was probably from the original part of the building, really starting to dress it up quite nicely. And this is something that we're particularly proud of because it's probably been at least a decade or more before we've actually taken the surface down and sanded the entire gym floor. We've obviously maintained it previously with wax and stripping the wax off, but this is the new gymnasium at the high school. The only thing that's missing in that facility right now is those wall mats will be replaced. There will be a solid surface, new wall mat system that's going to greet the students, but we're very pleased with the crest being in the middle of the floor and then the word Cougars on both ends of the gymnasium. So really quite happy with the progress. And again, this is from earlier in the week. There's the handicap cutouts to make seating more accessible in the auditorium. On the picture on the right, if you're looking toward the left of that image where the aisleway meets the decline, there's two areas there that are expanding that area that will offer up accessible seating. And where that ladder is, there's actually a sound booth that's been constructed, so they actually have that framed out. So you'll recall if you went to a musical event or a concert in the past, the equipment was set up on the second tier of the auditorium and it was propped up on a table. So we'll have a new sound booth, new equipment, new monitor and projector in there. It really should dress that up nicely. And what we expect next is the paint crew will be moving from the library into the auditorium. So that should happen hopefully within the next week. And this is something that I know people eagerly anticipate since the board has committed to making this an actual calendar. I just want to update for the community, those calendars will be going to print and should be going out to our public within the next week and a half. So some great pictures. Amanda's done another phenomenal job of putting that together, highlighting some of the great things that are happening here. And I know our community will always look forward to seeing those things come out. And this year, she actually took it a step further because the print shop at BOCE's actually can do a glossy cover. So she's actually going to enhance that. But just wanted to give a quick overview and let everyone know good things are happening this summer. It's been busy. And we're hoping that when we return in the fall, people are as equally excited as we are. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McMillan. Those are great pictures, and it's wonderful to see progress moving along. Number 3 on our agenda.
Cinda, can you turn your mic up just a little bit, please?
Do we have those for you?
Thank you.
Let's see, 3 that way. One for Tina. There are the committees and the liaisons and the representatives. I know you didn't all get your first choice, but hopefully this is going to work out for everyone. Under the okay, we're down, that's all of them that are listed. You want me to read them off, or is it okay?
I think that you should for the record, Cinda.
Can't hear you? For the record, read them?
Yes, please.
All right. Under appointments, building liaisons. Elementary liaison will be John Bogard. Middle school will be Shelley Cahoon. High school will be Linda Egner. And the Cougar Ops will be Tina Reed. The Fort County Board of Directors will be, our representative will be Linda Egner, and the Fort County Legislative Committee will be Linda Egner. The District Safety Committee will be Jason Sloan. The Policy Committee will be Paul Statsky, Chairperson, Shelley Cahoon, and Tina Reed. The Audit Committee will be John Bogard, Chairperson, Shelley Cahoon, and Paul Statsky. Handbook Committee will be Lucinda Collier, Chairperson, Jason Sloan, and Paul Statsky. The Building and Grounds will be the whole board, as will the Finance area. And the Personnel and Negotiations Committee will be Tina Reed, Chairperson, John Bogard, and Lucinda Collier. Is there any public access to the board?
No, there's no one.
All right. We move then to the consent agenda. The consent agenda goes through page 7. A motion, please, to approve the consent agenda. John and Tina. Any discussion? Then all in favor of approving the consent agenda? Motion is carried. Page 7, number 6. A motion, please, to approve the lease agreement. Linda and Jason? Discussion? Hearing none. Tina, would you call the roll, please?
Yes. Cinda?
Yes?
Tina?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Shelley?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes?
Jason?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion is carried.
Thank you. Motion carried. That completes our agenda. Is there a motion for adjournment? Tina?
Cinda, did you need to
Jason?
go into executive session?
Pardon?
Were you going into executive session?
Oh, that's right, I'm sorry. Take those motions back, please. We need to, a motion to go into executive session to discuss a legal matter. Paul and Jason. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Motion is approved. We will not be doing any further business when we come back to adjourn. We'll just come back to adjourn. So we'll take a break at this point to go into executive session. Yes, I'll say.
That's it. 17 minutes.